Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Jacked Joe here today, and we're coming at you with a very special video today. So this video is going to be based on my own preference. This isn't like, oh, I think my viewers are going to like this, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not basing this stuff off of like not my interest, other people's interest. Like, this is based, obviously I think you guys are going to like this, but because it's DDD. But something I really wanted to build myself recently was 100% pure DDD. Mainly because it's going to bring me back to the old days of playing it before we had Lamy and stuff. That's kind of what reminds me of it. And it's actually very explosive. Like, I knew coming into this, it's not going to be able to compete super well against the meta like a synchro build is and stuff, or like, you know what I mean? So, because it can't extend as much and play around certain hand traps. But anyways, I actually did a pretty good job building this through a playtest at locals. I'll get into that recap in a sec, but before I want to start getting into this more so, I decided I'm going to be doing a giveaway for whenever I hit 1,000, whenever Jacked YGO hits 1,000 subscribers. I'll be getting more into that. You're going to see me filming on what I'm giving away. But yeah, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be giving this away. If you guys watch my videos, you know I don't push subscribers, but I thought this would be like a healthy thing for the channel to do. It's a decent giveaway. Yeah, like all you guys got to do is like comment like what you guys think of this. I'm not the kind of guy to be like, comment, subscribe, but like, this is, like I said, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, like maybe anticipate the subscribers more. Yeah, I'll be giving this away to a random subscriber. I'll do like a video where you comment on it, you'll be entered in the giveaway, and it'll all be based on, like I said, when I get 1,000 subscribers, because it's a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So like I said, I'll get more into that when I start filming the video, because I'll be profiling on the giveaway pretty much. So, anyways, I'm going to do a bit of a locals recap. I brought this to locals. I played 3 games because I decided to drop the last round because I went X2. But regardless, it actually did pretty well. Like, there wasn't any games where it was blowout. It was all more so like my losses were really close. So game 1, I played against B-Trooper. It's actually a pretty good deck. Like, B-Trooper's a pretty good deck. And our first game was 32 minutes because my combo got stopped. He full combo but couldn't kill me, and his combo's really long. And then I was able to bounce back and do like a ton of stuff with my own stuff and kind of experiment different ways to do certain combos too. So that was like a 32-minute game. We're just kind of having some fun there. But game 2 was quick, and then game 3, I made him go first, and we only had like 3 minutes or something. So he burned me for 200 because that's what B-Troopers can do with their the sting or whatever. And the best I could do was swing at him with the finger tops and do him for 200. But if I did a different route, it would take more than the time I was given, but I would be able to force him with the tactics and just swing at him. So unfortunately, there's nothing I could do other than tie, but I decided to, since I wasn't playing something very serious, I didn't want to give people like weird tiebreakers because of the tie. I just said, you know what, just like, I kind of just scooped up and was like, yeah, I'll take the loss, it's okay. So game 2, I played against Drytron. I actually took that in 3. And then game 3, or round 3, was against Tri Brigade with the Rescue Cat. And actually, it was very close. I took a game. I lost game 1. I won game 2, and then game 3. The only reason why I lost was because he had his one card left in hand was Nibiru, and then his top deck was a Prosperity when he had like nothing to follow up with in graveyard, and he just hit really good cards up Pros. He had the Rescue Cat, so I was like, okay, I can't really do much about this, but like, yeah. Regardless, I dropped at that point because I was X2, and I was like, yeah, I could just go to bed, kind of thing. So. But it really performed. Like, I was surprised at how well it performed because it was able to hold up against like some fairly competitive decks where you think this deck would just get blown out, but it actually did like really well. And the combos you can do are extremely explosive with this deck when it's left untouched. You don't really go untouched too often, but I have ways to kind of go around that. I'll show you my profile. But yeah, I think you guys are gonna like really want to see this profile at this point. So like I said, it's 100% pure, no impurities in the extra deck. The main deck is pretty spiced, fairly spiced, and I'll get into that. Anyways, I'll get right into this deck profile, and I hope you guys like it. I'll see you in the giveaway mat. Okay, guys, so here it is. So I'll put all this stuff off here, and this will be the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, this is a Win-A-Mat mat. It's from the Extravaganza mat. And it's the Magician's Souls or Soul Servants. I'm not sure what you call this mat. But it's probably worth about $100 value. I'm not sure. It's like near mint. I haven't played with it. I'm just filming on it for this profile. It's actually a really nice mat. I just prefer some of my other mats, so I decided I'm just going to give this away. And this is a untouched Ulti-Hulk or 5-Rax. I actually have some extras, so decided I'd be giving this away too. So this will be left in the hard case, and this card is untouched. It's like literally just like a 10 mint pretty much. So yeah, this is untouched and this is near mint. So at 1,000 subscribers, guys, I'll be giving this mat and this away, and I'll be paying for shipping and everything. Like I said, when that time comes, you'll just have to comment on the video I post for the 1,000 subscribers giveaway. I kind of want to know what you guys think about that. So yeah, I guess just comment what you think about it. And yeah, I will get right into that now that I've described what the giveaway is going to be. So the deck profile. So let's start off with the main deck as per usual. So let's start with the main. Like I said, guys, it's more of a fun deck, but it's actually fairly competitive and will really surprise people sometimes because they don't, even the people that do know this deck still got confused on like what combos I was doing because they didn't know what I was playing. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. So onto the monster count. We're doing 3 Keplers here. Kepler's your heart and soul for this deck, like any other DD build. You always play this at 3 in any sort of build because you're Stratos. So we're going triple Swirl Slime. So I maxed out my DDD deck. I was able to get the card for actually fairly cheap. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped on having like the supers and stuff and the star foils. So that's triple Swirl Slime. That's standard. And then so here's 2 Necros. I actually have the third one starred as well. This one actually came in Euro out of the 3 I got. This one's a Euro print, and the cool thing about it, I don't know if you can see, but if you see like the star foiling, there's like twice as much star foiling on the Euro print, and it's darker, so it actually just kind of comes out as a super rare, so it's pretty cool. But anyways, why I'm playing 2 of this is because it is you're gonna, through your combo, you're usually gonna send this through like a Marksman Kingtail, and I'm also playing like a Foolish Burial, like I'll get into that later. But it's just to make some room. 3, you still kind of want to have the access to the full combo. Like your full combo still gives you like your original full combo, like your Swirl, Necro, and your Kepler. These 3 are still your full combo in this deck essentially. So you still kind of want to have like full access to that, but 2 is enough. Like I said, searchable, and you can send it off of Foolish. And anyways, it's part of your combo to send anyways, so you only need to play 2. So we're going triple DD Lamia here. I think this, no matter what build you're playing, I think Lamia is just it's a great extender card regardless. So I think you should just play 3. And there's always an easy access to some of your synchro cards, right? So obviously because you're tuner in the deck, I think it's too good not to play. You should always play Lamia at 3 no matter what. Triple Copernicus, so he's part of a 2-card combo. Like you summon him. I'll go through some of the combos later. But you have him and Copernicus. I'll showcase you guys test hands in like a 2-card combo that goes on with this deck. So he's standard mandatory to play at 3 in this build. And he's also a really good scale card as he's scale 1 and can stop you from burn. So that's pretty good. And then double Ragnarok. So the reason why I'm playing two Ragnarok is because even though you can banish him with Allure, you don't really want to see this card. You actually want to be able to just set it in your scale with Gilgamesh. So set both scales. Like for your combo, you're always trying to access Gilgamesh, so you just want him in your deck, really. And then for second, he's also really good, though, because against Tri-Brigade, it shuts out the Revolt and stuff, because you summon the level 8. So, 2 Super Ragnaroks. Don't worry, I have the third. So for one of Ghost, Orthros, Rage, and Baphomet. So Ghost is really good. I'll always play Ghost in my builds from now on, because Ghost is really good for resource management. It's just a resource management card. It's also a level 2, so it gives you easy access to Siegfried and some of your level 10 synchros, right? Orthros, same thing. Doesn't lock you, doesn't put you under any restriction in this deck because you're just playing Fiends, so that's really good. So it's just a really good level 4 tuner with Spell and Trap removal, so you have to main deck this card. Level 4s are pretty key in this deck too to summon the rank 8 or rank 4. Rage is part of the combo. You set him in scale, but he's also a great card just to easily kill your opponent. And also to shut, if you draw him, you might as well just try and shut off some hand traps. So that's a really good way to play around. So it's another way I actually used to stop a Nibiru one time. Just I drew him and I summoned him and then tribute off a Lamia to stop hand traps and do my combo. And then Baphomet. Baphomet is mandatory in this deck as well because he switches levels, doesn't lock you in anything, and it's good for pures. So yeah, that's why we're playing Baphomet. So the monster count, I believe, is 21 cards. So it's plenty, you'll see enough. And you don't need to add, I actually don't have any room for other searchers, so playing 20 21 cards, I believe, was the count. So yeah, it's consistent. Works really well. So spells. So your contracts, you're still just playing 3 Gate and then 1 Swamp King. Swamp King is just a good card to search for an extender play off of the. Usually search this off of like if you draw like your trap, like your contract trap, you can just search this and just bring up another body and be able to summon like potentially the level 10 synchro that stops targeting and like further in your combo. So yeah, it's just a really good card to search out. And you're not playing Desires in this, so yeah. Your 1 draw power card is Allure. It'd be dumb not to play this because you're playing strictly darks in this deck. So yeah, we're playing maxing out on the Allures. And then we're going 3 talents. For going second cards, we're going 3 Tactics talents and triple Dark Ruler no more. I've had a lot of people ask what they can play around for talents. It really depends. In the pure deck, it's hard to say. I would just aim for like another consistency card if you just can't afford talents. Maybe just play Desires. Just play Desires in your deck if you want. Just max out your pieces. The only thing is if you play Desires, you should probably just play a second copy of Rage. And yeah, I would just do that. Just play like a set of Desires with a second copy of Rage. And just find another card to replace. Or just play 41 cards, up to you. And then this is a 40 card solid list. And then Dark Ruler, since this is 40 and we have cards like Allure, it's really easy to just dig for this card and just shut off our opponent's board. So this is actually what helps it really play competitive is these, by the way. Tactics being able to steal or just draw 2, like can draw into some extenders, which is really good, or more pieces. And to look at your opponent's hands, pretty key too. That doesn't really come up too much because usually if you get like Nibiru or something, or like a critical hand trap hits you, you're gonna probably just want to draw 2 cards or go in second, take a card off your opponent, right? Monster from their field. So yeah, these 6 are really good for going second. But like I said, if you can't afford talents, just play Desires and then just add another copy of Rage. Then for the 1-ofs, Foolish, Called By, Where Art Thou? Oh, sorry, this is sorry, that's my bad. This is not Where Art Thou. This is 1 for 1. I literally grabbed. I just put the deck back together because I went back to the Synchro build, but yeah, this is 1 for 1. Not I don't know how I just managed to do that. That was kind of funny. So yeah, Foolish, Called By, 1 for 1. Really powerful 1-ofs. These 2 are mandatory, and this Foolish Burial really adds like another copy to a certain amount of cards. Like this is another Necro slide if you need it, or it can send Baphomet, right? Which is really key. Or if you open Baphomet, you can just send the level 4, the Copernicus. So it's very versatile in the pure deck. So I think it should be mandatory to play Foolish. It's not mandatory, but it really helps you access the pieces that you will need in this deck, and gives you like another extra card. Like if you have your 2-card combo, you can send Lamia. If you don't have access to it, you send Lamia, and then Lamia can give you access to Siegfried in your combo, which is really good. So yeah, so it's not the right file. There we go. And for the traps, so I'm running triple Rivalry and the 1 Witch. So this is what actually makes this deck pretty competitive. I'd say, along with the going second cards, is that Rivalry is good against literally pretty much everything right now. Rivalry is actually even good against Tri-Brigade, because if they summon certain cards, or if they see, this is what happened against the Tri-Brigade player. So I had the Witch and the Rivalry. What I was able to do was when he was going, so I just had the 2 cards set, and then after he Nibiru'd me, and then I flipped the Witch, and then I activated, and then Witch got rid of the token. That way he was under Nibiru, and he had no way to get around Nibiru, so it was really hard for him to play. I just went and had full combo. So Rivalry is a really good way to, in a sense, play around like certain hand traps like Nibiru, because you can just set this, and then they're stuck with a rock on their field. And then you don't care because you can get rid of your token, and then you can, like with a card like Witch, or they can swing at the token, which happens sometimes, I guess. But regardless, Rivalry is just a really good card. Like if you like Brick and you just end on a Gilgamesh, you can just flip Rivalry, and then most decks this format have like a really hard time dealing with Rivalry. So it's good to play a main deck of Floodgate like this, and go in second even if they can't don't have like a way to pop or quick pop or spell a trap negate. You can just flip Rivalry, and then it kind of just shuts out their board, and then you have a chance to play. And then Witch is really strong because it boosts all your cards by 1,000, and it's searchable in this deck with the rank 8 or the rank 4. So that's a 40 card solid list. It's actually very consistent because it's 2-card combo, but you also have easy access to like all your combo pieces because you're maxing out on all of them pretty much. So yeah, that's why the only draw power card is Allure, because it honestly deals pretty fine without it. The other cards like Wear Off Thou and Desires. So yeah, onto the extra deck, playing 4 fusions. So we're playing Ragnarok, Genghis, and Big Genghis and 2 small. You could play D-Arc if you want. I didn't have room for it. I found other cards are more important than the D-Arc. So these are all still mandatory. If you don't have access to like a Berfomet, you can just make a second Genghis and just overlay into the rank 6, because the rank 6 is pretty key in this deck. And then the Big Genghis is just amazing for like I said, shutting out Revolt, extending, making level 10 synchros, really good in the pier. And then Big Caesar Ragnarok is huge, like he's just crazy. He's a really good out to board, and he's really easy to make in this deck. He's an out to Dragoon, he's out to like any problem card this guy is an out to. And yeah, I outed like 2 boards alone with this guy during the tournament, so really strong. Onto the synchros. So we're going Alexander and Siegfried for our level 7 and 8, and then we're going 10s. So we're playing Alexander and Armageddon. I actually summoned Armageddon a bunch of times, and there's a lot of times where if they pop the Gilgamesh, you can just bring out Armageddon and use a 3500 body that says you can't target any monsters. And Alexander is really good to just be a 6k and an extra extender. He's really easy to OTK with too. Really fun playing this guy. I mean, he has no effect negation effects obviously, but he's really fairly easy to summon in this deck. So yeah, like why not play him? And he's 6k. Like he's usually a 6k when you plan to bring him out to kill your opponent. So yeah, and Siegfried and Alexander are pretty standard. Like in any DD deck, you're gonna be playing those two. So yeah. So onto the XCs. Wave High King, Wave King Caesar, King Tell, and Duodon. So Caesar and King Tell are part of your 2-card combo. You overlay into this, it sends the Necro or whatever card you're missing when you link it off. And Caesar comes back and then adds your trap, right? So yeah, I didn't realize he was out of a sleeve, double sleeve. So yeah. Anyways, Wave High King Caesar is basically your boss monster in this deck. You summon him turn 1, and he's just a blowout. Like, almost every deck can't deal with this guy unless they have an Imperm, and that's why you make like a Siegfried on top of this. If you have a Siegfried in this, it's like very hard for people to out. Like Virtual World usually will not have the answer, especially if the trap face down. Like Virtual World cannot answer that. Like if you have a Witch or a Rivalry, like they're just, like decks will not beat that, you know what I mean? So Caesar is just crazy for like stopping that, and also like boost everything by your other card and itself by 1800, not once per turn either. And when he's just sent any sort of way, you can just add a contract, so it's pretty good for recursion. Caesar, same idea. When he's sent, you just add a contract from your deck to your hand. And King Tell is a foolish. Just like I say, just play your combo. They can like burn, like kind of like burn match your opponent for 1,000 when you take 1,000. And then Duodon, stand like if this card in this deck you have to play. It's just another boss monster you have access to, and we have room for it because we're just playing strictly Fiend/DDD. So yeah. And then onto the links, we're just maxing out Gilgamesh. You go into Gilgamesh a lot in this deck. Very standard to just play 3 in this deck because, you know, he's your heart and soul, your combos, because you're just linking stuff and triggering other effects. And it's really easy to just summon an extra card that hasn't used its effect, like an Alexander, and you can just link anything off and just trigger the Alexander, and then you know, it's really fun to just link climb and just trigger a bunch of effects just from a summon. So, and Gilgamesh, a lot of, like, there's actually like quite a few times where people actually have to pop this, especially in this format, and then Gilgamesh can just summon anything. Like, Gilgamesh summons, whenever it's destroyed, it has access to anything in your extra deck or your graveyard. It just has the option to summon anything when it's destroyed. So it's just nuts. And if you like have this with like your scale and like another Genghis out, you're just gonna literally summon 5 cards back. Like, it's actually crazy. So yeah, Gilgamesh is the heart and soul for your combos in this deck. And onto the side, this can be anything you want. I'll just showcase it. I've done like side decking theories like a week ago, so won't scroll over this too hard. So Nibiru and Phantasme. Like Phantasme is actually really key in this deck. It's not sleeve right now, but like whatever. But Phantasme is like hella key in this deck because it searches or shuffles back your bricks and gives you a body on board to help swing over problematic stuff. And it'll also help you dig for something like a Nibiru or a Dark Ruler or a Tactics. Like, it really opens up the air for your deck a lot and lets you play against your opponent, especially if they're playing Tri-Brigade. This card just nuts against Tri-Brigade, so yeah. Evenly, crazy card against Tri-Brigade, crazy card against Virtual World. It's really easy out to back row decks as well. Just shuts them down to 1 card. Definitely play Evenly. I think Evenly should be standard this format, but not everyone's on it. One of one Pankratops, one IO, one Eternal Darkness. IO kind of, if you have an established sport, IO really helps, and then you can just kind of go off monster effects, because the thing is with IO is that it'll put them in way more of a losing position than for you. So I think it's just worth playing, because this deck, I don't think I've ever lost. There's only one time I've ever lost activating Imperial Order, and it was against a Sky Striker player that I was playing Virtual World, and I just bricked a bunch of turns, and I just had IO, and I still almost won, because IO actually forced him with 5 set cards to go into a Boral Sword, like really just push for a Boral Sword. If not, he wouldn't have been able to win. So yeah, that's because he was 5 turns in already. So yeah, IO for that reason is just, you should play it. And Droll is just a shutout, like a bunch of rogue decks, and Drytron. You need answers to Drytron, so Drytron is like hella annoying. I think the deck needs to get hit. The Fairy Engine is just way too powerful, man. And it's kind of unfair when you play against it and you lose die roll, especially with this deck. It's like you lose die roll, they win game 1. You go second, you go full combo, they just scoop, and then it's the same idea, except they can play through a lot more stuff than we can. So yeah, the Fairy Engine is very degenerate, I think. But yeah, I'll showcase you guys some combos here. So yeah, let's get into that. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go over the first 2-card combo that happens with this deck. So Copernicus and Kepler, it's fairly easy, you know, when you're playing stuff like Allure. This is just the rest of your hand. It's fairly easy when you're playing something like Allure. Let's just get these face up because these are talents, so it's pretty cool. So it's pretty easy when you're playing something like Allure to just dig for these cards, and then you really only care about having these 2 at some certain point. But I'd rather go like the full combo, like the original full combo, when you have like the Kepler, Swirl, the Necro, and the Lamy and stuff like that, because that actually offers you more than what this combo has to offer. But I'll just get right into this. So the first thing you do is you normal summon Copernicus and you use effects. So here's the cards you need for this combo. You send the Swirl Slime, and you use Swirl Slime, banish, special summon. Kepler uses effect, and you search out Gate. And Gate activates. Gate will search you Berfomet. You link these 2 into Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh uses his effect. So Gilgamesh sets 2 scales, set the Ragnarok and the Rage. So Rage is a scale 0, so it lets you special summon the Kepler out. And you're not going to burn, so you will burn from Gilgamesh because it's already resolved. And these cards are just in the field. So you burn for 1,000 here, but you won't burn for any of your contracts or anything or your Ragnarok. So that's actually really good. And it's also a scale 0, like I said, like that's really clutch. So here's your hand. And then Berfomet is also in your hand. So you're going to Pendulum Summon 2. Or you're going to Pendulum Summon 2 from the extra, and then the 3rd one from your hand. So you special, special, and then special. And then Berfomet effect activates, makes this a level 6. So you're making Kepler level 6, so you can summon a Genghis and then overlay it for your later on. And these 2 are already level 4, so all you got to do is rank 4. And then you're going to go into a Wave Hacking Caesar. And then you're going to right away overlay this into a Kingtail. Use Kingtail effect to burn your opponent for 1,000 just to match. And then you're going to link 2. And then it gives you another Gilgamesh. And then here, you're going to use, here is Kingtail's effect. You're going to send a Necro Slime, the Europrint Necro Slime. And then you're going to use Necro Slime effect. So you're going to banish that and probably just a Gilgamesh. Because you play 3, you don't really care about banishing this one. And if this hits grave, you can just revive it. So that's going to summon your Genghis here. Genghis' summon is going to trigger Ragnarok. You're going to special Caesar. And then you have 2 level 6s here. So you could special like a Kingtail back, but the basic thing that's going to happen is that you're just going to link off the Caesar and the Gilgamesh. But if you really wanted to, I guess, you could just summon a Kingtail, and then when he hits grave, you can just Foolish. So that's probably a smart idea. So we'll just use Genghis off of the Caesar summon that was triggered off the Ragnarok. So Genghis summons, just to keep you guys up to date, Genghis summon triggers Ragnarok to special summon the Caesar. Caesar summon triggers the Genghis to revive the Kingtail. So in this case, since we only have these 2, you're going to revive Kingtail here. If you had like a Lamy already in grave, you would probably just bring back Lamy and then make like Calamity and Alexander. But Kingtail is decent to have on board because when he's sent, he can Foolish. That gives you a decent amount of recursion. And then what you do is you're going to link these two off. So this isn't a once per turn, so you can just make a Foolish Burial here. So you make another Gilgamesh. So here's 2 Gilgamesh. And then Kingtail and Caesar activate. So this gives you this, and then Kingtail. Or maybe send either, you could send a Lamia for synchro plays on the follow-up, or you could send like a Necro. It doesn't really matter what you send here. You're gonna add the Witch, and then you're gonna overlay these because this is a level 6 off of the Baphomet, and you make Caesar. You're gonna set Witch, and you're gonna pass turn. So that's off your 2-card combo. So this offers really good board protection because you have this that can pop. So any of these 3 cards can literally be a DD card or a Dark Contract card to just pop. Then you also have Gate for your follow-up, and then you have these 2 are offering you protection for when they're destroyed. Like they'll just start comboing. Like if this is destroyed, or if this is destroyed, you special something. You can special summon the Alexander summon. This triggers, special summons the. If you already use Caesar, like you're probably gonna use Caesar at this point to like negate the summon or something. You can special back this, and then so that Ragnarok is special summon the Caesar, and then this triggers to special summon whatever else you want. Like you probably want a Copernicus to do a Foolish Burial, and right there your board's reestablished, so that's really strong, right? So yeah, that's your 2-card combo. You also have a Gate searching next turn plus a draw. This is all I can order right now, but yeah. Now I'll do some test hands to show you guys what this deck actually plays like. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'll show you guys full combo. So yeah. Okay, guys. So here's your full combo here. So in other words, you have Kepler, Lamia, and Swirl Slime. So this is full combo because this grabs you another piece, and you have your 4 bodies on board. So you're gonna do your original thing. You're gonna normal summon Kepler. Kepler uses Perfect. You search a Necro Slime here, and then, oh, I'm going way ahead of myself. It's like a common thing for a DD player to just search out the piece before the gate. So you're searching Gate effect, uses to search the Necro Slime. And you're gonna use Swirl Slime effect, use this and the Necro Slime. And you're gonna summon your Genghis. And you're gonna go Swirl Slime effect, vanishes, special summon. And then you're gonna go, you can do Genghis effect here. So we'll go Genghis effect here, revives this. And then you're gonna go, here you have your 4 bodies. You're gonna summon the Synchro, you're gonna summon Alexander. And then here you're gonna go like this, 1, 2, use Necro Slime and the Kepler to summon Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh sets the same scales as the last time. You're gonna set the Rage, you're gonna set the Ragnarok, you're gonna burn 1,000, that's okay. So Swirl Slime is banished. And now what you're gonna do here is you're gonna trigger Alexander, target special summon, this, and then you're gonna go like this, Synchro 8, do a Siegfried, this triggers Ragnarok to special the Genghis back, and then you're gonna go Necro Slime effect here, using these 2 to special summon another level 6, and here you will make your Wave King Caesar. So that's with your original like full combo, like your all your pieces kind of thing, and like the original build I'm playing and stuff. So I found like this is like a really easy way to access like a spell and trap, a follow up. You don't have the access to the trap, like the floodgate, but that's okay because you still have this, and this is protection, and then you have like revive. This is like recursion because this can revive once something's destroyed, or if this is triggered, it's going to trigger this, which is just devastating for your opponent. And then gate's also a search, and then you have pendulum summon for next turn to summon your Kepler back to search any card you need, right? So actually, yeah, sorry, I just had a second thought here, but yeah, so that's basically your full combo here. Now I'll show you guys some test hands you can do. So, or any test hand that comes up, and I'll show you how to play with it, okay? So I'll get right into that. Alright guys, so my iPhone storage went full because I realized I had a ton of stuff I recently deleted, so I just deleted all that. So I was in the middle of doing the combo with this test hand, so basically, since this test hand's like actually broken, it's actually like one of the best hands we can get. I will, this is like literally just me shuffling right after it was all organized, and it gave me this hand, which is really good. So this is one of the best test hands. I'll show you why. I'll show you how I'm going to combo with this hand and how to best utilize a hand with something like this, because you already have these two plus the gate, which is like the first combo I initially showed. So after this test hand, I'll try to purposely give you a bad one and see how well I can do with it. No, we're just going to dig right into this. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to use Foolish Burial. Foolish will send us, so I have actually all these cards I just left them out. So Lamia is going to be here. We're going to send Lamia because it's going to give us access to a Siegfried later on in the combo. We're going to go Gate. So we're going to use Gate here and use its effect to search to make sure this goes through before we start committing to anything else. And we're going to go, oh, sorry, it's not Swirl Slime. We're going to add the Kepler here. So we're going to want Kepler for our combo. So here's our hand. We're going to go normal summon Copernicus. Copernicus uses effect. So Copernicus will send Swirl Slime so we can get the Kepler out. Banish the Swirl Slime, special Kepler. Kepler uses effect, searches the Swamp King. This will give us access to a fusion, another fusion later on our combo. So we're going to use these two, link them off. I'll summon Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh uses effect, set the scales. Assume we're going uninterrupted here. I'm going to burn 1,000 because it's already resolved. We're going to go link 2 from the extra deck, and then we're going to go the third link from the hand. We're going to use Baphomet here to make this a 6 like we originally did. Just going to rank these up to Caesar, go into a King Tail, effects, match the life points, overlay. Go into another Gilgamesh. This will trigger King Tell. We're going to send a copy of the Necroslime. We're going to send Necroslime here because we don't have it engraved. We do have it in hand. This is our hand here. We do have it in hand, but this will be fodder and follow up for the trap. That's why we're keeping this in hand. Now here we're going to use Necroslime. We're going to use this and the Gilgamesh because you don't really need another Gilgamesh in the grave. That'll summon the Genghis here. Triggering Ragnarok. This will special summon the Caesar back out. And then we're going to trigger Genghis to special the Lamia. We're going to activate Swamp King here to fusion summon. So we can use the King Tell and the Baphomet. We probably don't need Baphomet anymore, so we'll get rid of it because we're pretty well established here. So we'll get rid of those, and we're going to special out the Genghis. We're going to go link 2. We're not going to trigger Genghis just yet. So we're going to summon the Gilgamesh. This will trigger Caesar to give us the trap. So to clarify things more so you guys don't forget, I'll just put this. So he's a level 6 right now. So this is currently our hand. We have all 3 of these in our hand currently. I'll put them sideways so we know. And then we're going to go use these 2. This will make the Alexander. Triggering Genghis, target special summon the small Genghis back. Triggering Alexander, target special summon the Lamia back. So here, as you can see, we have access to this. This basically full combo thing, plus the Genghis, plus the trap. And then we're gonna overlay these 2 to a rank 6. Caesar. And we don't even need to use the, oh, sorry, we already used the Swamp King, my bad. I don't know why I thought Swamp King was in my hand. Swamp King was the one that used to summon Genghis. It's just kind of like, having my hand here kind of looks like it's set in with my background, so it's kind of hard when you're profiling, that kind of mixes up sometimes. So you're going to set the Witch, so I'll just keep it face up so we know what we're dealing with here. So Witch has the fodder of the Necroslime. You have Caesar and Siegfried, which is a standalone, really hard to out. Like, it's crazy hard to out these. Like I said, you got your Destruction Recursion. Genghis is another card that will just be able to revive another card. Like, you basically have full revival of your board while you're not taking any damage because of Rage. You have, like I said, these 2, and the Witch is huge because the reason why Witch is really good right now is because popping a starter / normal summon is extremely big right now, and then also pitching this also gives you access to another Genghis on your follow-up. So that hand was really crazy, and now I'm just going to show you guys a brick hand as my last test hand. Okay guys, so put all the extra cards away. Gonna shuffle up the main. and see how hard we brick here. So I'll do a brick to mediocre hand just to see like what it gives us. Sometimes brick hands are literally just garbage. We can't do much with them, so yeah. So shuffle up here and see what we draw. We're gonna half cut our deck. We're gonna draw 5, so that's 5 cards. What do we got? Okay, so this hand isn't terrible, but it's really something that's a little bit harder to work with. So, actually, you know what? This is actually full combo now that I think about it, because Gate will search the level 4, you'll summon the level 4, send special to Kepler, that's, you have the access to the spell and stuff too. It's actually a good hand, so yeah, like you can grab a Lamia, or sorry, you can Foolish a Lamia because you'll have the fusion spell in hand, so that actually gives you, it's like a full combo kind of thing. So we'll just shuffle up again, we'll see what's on the bottom of our deck here. So here's like an interesting hand actually. So I got Talents, which is possible protection from a hand trap, Rivalry, and Gate with double Swirl Slime. So not the greatest, obviously, but it is something. So let's just think about this here. So what's the easiest way we can play around this? Well, we do have Swirl Slime, and we do have a Gate with the, which will give us access to a Necro Slime, right? So let's think about this. This is two monsters plus another one, which will probably give us enough to summon a Gilgamesh and then be able to set our scales and then also make a rank 6 with a Rivalry. So this is actually pretty good. Doesn't look amazing, but if you go uninterrupted, even if you go interrupted, you have Talents, which will draw you, well, the 2, like this is just top card. So if we do get interrupted, I guess we have a draw 2, right? So let's just say our deck's shuffled. Talents can become a draw 2 because we really need the draws. We have Allure and a Lamia. Lamia is really good in this deck because it's an extender to give you Gilgamesh. So yeah, those are actually pretty 2 good draws in Allure. But let's just keep that out of the equation for now. So we're gonna start off Gate. We used Effect. We're gonna search for Necro. In the combo variant, we'd be searching for Lamia, but here we're gonna search for Necro Slime. So you're searching for the Necro Slime here, and you're gonna use Swirl Slime Effect to Fusion Summon. Use those 2. You're gonna go into a Genghis, Banish Swirl, Summon Swirl, Genghis Effect, Specials, Link 2. Here's your 2. Gilgamesh sets the scales. It really depends what you want to set here, but I think setting the Ragnarok and the Rage is still really good because you can still Pendulum Summon. If you really wanted to, you could still go like scale the Orthros and the Ragnarok. That way you have a Spell and Trap Destruction on your follow-up. So Spell and Trap Destruction on your follow-up. Plus, you can still Pendulum Summon 4. So at this point, if you can search, you really only, because you can normal summon a level 1 at this point, you probably actually want to set a scale in Orthros here, because all you really care about is just like maybe like Pendulum Summoning, which can give you more extender plays depending on what you draw, right? So if you draw a Lamia, okay, you can like Pendulum Pendulum Summon the, or you can even like normal summon the level 4, special it. You can even normal summon the level 4, and then link it off, and then Pendulum Summon it back. So 3 and 5 is still really good to just, because all you care about, like I said, right now, since you can still have a normal summon, is just Pendulum Summon level 4. That's all that really matters here. So these 2 are probably the best. Just round this up, these 2 are probably the best cards to put in right now because we have nothing to Pendulum Summon. So we're thinking follow up here, obviously. Now here you have 2 cards. You're literally just going to do this. What you could actually do, if you want to save the Swirl Slime, actually, here's the better option. You can go 1, 2, summon another Gilgamesh. This will trigger Ragnarok, specials the Genghis, and now you can save your Swirl Slime for a follow-up play, which is actually pretty insane. Use Necro and the Gilgamesh, and summon another Genghis, rank 6. Hopefully you don't get in a beard here. Go into a Caesar, and here's what you got. So you can set Rivalry, and follow up you have Tactics with a search and a Pendulum Summon. So that'll allow you to extend more, plus a special summon from hand. So very powerful here. Like I said, standalone, this card's really good. If you have Rivalry, like very, very hard for a deck to out. So yeah, and plus you have Spell and Trap Disruption on your opponent's turn, and really good recursive policy, because once this is destroyed, triggers Ragnarok triggers. If this is gone, you get any contract. So your follow-up play, this is really well established for it, especially with having a talents in hand with a draw and a search. So yeah, that was like a mediocre. I just don't want to make this video too long, so I'm probably just gonna end the video here. Like I said, that was like a meh kind of thing, but if you still have access to like 2 DD monsters that allows you to fusion summon, you can just grab, you don't even care about having a land mate here. You can literally just go like that, and this like becomes your board, right? Like this is, and Rivalry is pretty easy to open because you can dig through your deck. So yeah, this is actually like a really strong board. Again, guys, I hope you guys like this. Very cool deck. It's very fun, and I think it's fairly powerful, this format, other than the fact that a lot of people, hand traps are the most popular they've ever been. So that's the only reason why I recommend playing the talents and the call by. If you can fit in instant fusion, go ahead. Not mandatory, but instant fusion is really good because you're always going to summon as your first monster, so you're not locking yourself into anything. Yeah, another card if you want to play is instant fusion. But anyways, I'm going to leave that at that. Hope you guys like the video. Give this deck a shot for sure. It's definitely fun. And like I said, it definitely is very capable of beating all the meta decks, depending on how you pilot it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.